So, folks, one of the things we all recognize is that transgender people in America right now have it a bit rough. You know, we haven't been racking up those W's. Okay? Haven't been able to do it. And one of the things that is really nice to see is that today our legal system really went to bat for transgender people. And that was nice. You know, it's the bare minimum, but it's nice. What do I mean by that? Well, first we got Chris Geidner here from Law Dork. Judge Royce Lamberth converted his temporary restraining order against enforcement of the anti-trans prison provisions from January 20th, sex definition executive order, into a preliminary injunction because although the government suggested at the TRO hearing that it would present ameliorative steps to protect trans women, it did not. Now, for those of you who are like, wait, what does this mean? Well, so Donald Trump on the 20th, one of the first executive orders that Donald Trump signed into law was basically one that targeted trans women, specifically trans women in prison. And trans women in prison, he basically signed an order that's like, well, trans women are liars and they're actually men, so they should go to men's prison. I'm paraphrasing, obviously, but that was the gist of it. And, well, a judge stepped in and said, hey, I'm temporarily halting this because you need to have like a way to not violate these women's rights. And well, let's see how that went, because they were like, whoa, we'll do something for the trans ladies. It's okay, we got them. Don't. We'll show you. We'll come up with some special steps, and trans women will be loving their time in men's prison. Okay. Again, paraphrasing. All legal. All legalese. Instead, the defendants pointed to speculative action that the Bureau of Prisons might take to mitigate those harms, and thus assuage the court's Eighth Amendment concerns.
What's with treating trans men like confused lesbians and trans women as opportunistic predators?
What do you mean? What's with it? It's transphobia. It's bigotry. That's what it is. It's bigotry and patriarchy combined into one horrible abomination. Those hypothetical measures were insufficient to defeat the plaintiffs' largely uncontroverted evidence of harm. So basically, the court was like, hey, what if we, hypothetically did something to help trans women? And the court, the judge is just like, you can't just propose hypothetical measures and not implement them to deal with a real harm actively being done right now. It doesn't work like that. You know?
The treating of trans women as predators is cis men telling on themselves imho.
I mean, it is partly that, but it's also patriarchy. You know? It is patriarchal standards that expect men to behave like that. All right. The temporary restraining order noted that the revelation of additional facts then unknown to the court could affect the plaintiff's likelihood of success on the merits. However, since the issuance of the temporary restraining order, the court has received no further information about what ameliorative steps, if any, the government intends to or would take if the plaintiffs were to be transferred and deprived of their prescribed medications per the terms of the executive order. So basically, under the terms of this temporary restraining order, the court was like, hey, I mean, you know, if you provide us evidence of what these ameliorative steps would be, like how you would actually make it better when you deprive trans women of their medications and move them into a men's prison, you know, we'll revisit this temporary restraining order. And then in response to that, over the last month, the Trump administration said exactly nothing. And so it has been, the temporary restraining order has become a preliminary injunction, meaning it is even more enforced by law. So this is a huge win for trans women. It's good. You know, I'm glad we won today. Big old W. I'm just looking up real quick what a preliminary injunction is. Preliminary injunction versus temporary restraining order. Oh, okay. So basically, the temporary restraining order goes until like it's an emergency measure. It's passed by the court, and then gives the court time to figure something out. And if the court still sides with the restraining order, it becomes a preliminary injunction. It's kind of like a Pokemon evolving, if you will. So TRO evolved. It became a preliminary injunction. Beep boop. So that's one W for trans women. But it's not done yet, folks, because we got more wins for trans people. All right? More W's are on the way. Specifically for Donald Trump's anti-trans executive order. And let me tell you guys, this is maybe some of the most incredible courtroom interactions I've ever seen. And I only wish I could have it on camera so that we could like watch it unfold. But these interactions are honestly jaw-dropping. All right? I'm going to read you a couple of these interactions. And I think you'll understand here just what I mean, okay? So, real quick. Here's one interaction between Judge Reyes and the Department of Justice attorney.
Why do we have Pop-Tarts but not Mom-Tarts? Because of the patriarchy.
Balthazar, thank you for the $5 dono. I appreciate that. And the pun. So Reyes asks, can we agree that the greatest fighting force is not going to be impacted in any way by less than 1% of the soldiers using a different pronoun than others might want to call them? Department of Justice attorney, I can't agree with that here. Reyes, would you agree with me that if our military is negatively impacted in any kind of way that matters, we all have a lot bigger problems than pronoun use? We have a military that is incompetent. Any common sense, rational human being knows that it doesn't. It is pretext. It is frankly ridiculous. If you want to get me an officer of the United States military who is willing to get on the stand and say that because of pronoun usage, the US military is less prepared because of pronoun usage, I will be the first to give you a box of cigars. But guys, even more incredible exchange. Reyes, the order calls an entire category of people dishonest, dishonorable, undisciplined, immodest, who lack integrity, people who have taken an oath to defend this country, people who have been under fire, people who have received medals for taking fire for this country. I want to know from the government whether that language expresses animus. Does that express animus? Department of Justice attorney, not in any constitutional, Reyes, in a common sense way. This is a policy from the President of the United States affecting thousands of people. To call an entire group of people lying, dishonest people who are undisciplined, immodest, and have no integrity. How is that anything other than showing animus? Department of Justice attorney, I don't have an answer for you. Reyes, you do have an answer. You just don't want to give it. People can make solid arguments as to why some, or even most, transgender people shouldn't be in the military. We're dealing with unadulterated animus. We are dealing with the President of the United States, dealing with a group of people serving their country and calling them liars. This is in brackets. Reyes then said she changed her courtroom orders to bar people who graduated from UVA law school from appearing before her because they are all liars and lack integrity and are undisciplined and can't possibly meet the high rigors of being a lawyer for the government. She made the Department of Justice lawyers sit down on that basis. Then after he did, she called him back up and asked whether that was a display of animus. And that is one of the most incredible things I have ever heard a judge do. Like, oh my God. Treated him like a goddamn child. And, you know, like, it's very clear in some of these interactions that, like, the Department of Justice attorney was out of his depth. Okay? It's pretty incredible.
If anyone is in doubt that all the anti-trans bills are not based in anything other than prejudice and petty spite, this story demonstrates it clearly.
It absolutely does, one-eyed heathen. They can't defend it in court. They literally have no facts. It's just trans people are liars. That's it. And just some of the coverage from like legal reporters on this is interesting. So this again is Chris Geidner reporting. Are you kidding me right now? Says Judge Reyes, when the Department of Justice says that changes made during the first Trump administration had nothing to do with the injunction against the initial anti-trans ban then, which is wild, wild stuff. Oh, God. The Department of Justice is in a ridiculous position of Trump's own making, but they're trying to argue both that the executive order does nothing to claim the case isn't ripe, and then justify the military's actions pausing all current medical procedures. Like, it's not an arguable position. what they were put in charge of pushing in the courts. Well, Lady Rainclad, I think she is sympathetic to trans people. I think what she means is like, you can make some kind of intellectual, possibly fact-based argument that trans people shouldn't be in the military, not that that argument is salient. I think that what she's saying is, you know, you could find and manipulate studies to try and provide like a fact-based argument for banning trans people from the military, but they aren't even doing that. Like, it's the executive order is just being backed up by trans people are icky, though, you know? Do you think Trump's only me and the attorney general can interpret the law for the executive is in response to this and the resignations? I think it is in response to this, the resignations, and is also in line with Russell Vaught's unitary executive theory that is being tested at the moment. So it's a lot in response to the ongoing legal kerfuffles. It's incredible stuff. Judge Reyes highlights the inaccurate biological reality of the January 20th sex definition executive orders claim that there are only two sexes. Quote, this executive order is premised on an incorrect biological assessment, she tells the DOJ lawyer Lynch, who has no response. The Department of Justice refuses to say whether pronoun usage harms military preparedness, and Reyes is not happy about it. You have 10 days to find me a person, a commissioned officer who says so, and they will have to get on the stand and discuss their position. Like, some of the most incredible stuff going on in this. Like, Reyes is asking for what evidence there is for various statements in the executive order. Department of Justice says there is no specific evidence at this time on this record. The Department of Justice refuses to say whether it demeans trans people to say the final point. Oh, God. They are utterly incapable of arguing this in court, which is honestly, it makes me feel better to see the like absolute incompetence of this. Yeah, no, this is basically the equivalent of going into the courtroom and saying, but we really, really want it to happen, Judge. Ooh. Like, it's the lawyer baby gambit. You know, what if we just turn up in the courtroom in like a baby diaper and shit our pants? Maybe then the judge will recognize we're just little birthday boys and we should get our way. Oh, God. One of the incredible things here, Reyes makes clear the pronoun issue will be part of her animus consideration because she questions whether it relates to preparedness or cohesion, or instead is just a way to single out transgender people for ridicule. Which, yeah, it is!
I like to ask the MAGA people why they're okay with the gender-neutral bathroom in their house, but not the stores.
Genuinely. Genuinely. In response to part of the Department of Justice's statements on pronouns, the judge literally said out loud in the courtroom, every single pronoun in the history of mankind has been invented. It's literally like talking to a child. Like introducing the concept to a child that language is invented. It's incredible. I have never seen anything like this in a courtroom. This is honestly on par for me with that one court case that got a Rick and Morty sketch made of it. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? Where like the the defendant just keeps telling the judge to suck his dick. Like it's like that, but it's the Department of Justice. Incredible. Wait, that was real? That was real axolotls with cream. That was a real court transcript. If I say no, will you play it? I think I can get away with playing that, just real quick. I don't know if I can play the whole thing. But yeah, this is a court case. State of Georgia versus Denver, Fenton, Allen.
Okay, okay, Mr. Allen.
Right.
I believe that.
I don't think I can like show this on screen while we do it, but I think you listening to it will convey it enough.
I believe that your case was going to trial not this Monday, but the following Monday. Do you understand that?
Yes,
Okay, I tell you, if you need to tell me something, I'll let you come up here to the podium so you can speak into the microphone and I can hear you.
Yes, the attorney here, I'm wanting to fire him.
Uh-huh.
And, you know, I don't feel like he's doing any...
Who are you going to hire?
I'm not going to hire nobody. I'm going to try to get a different public defender.
There isn't... You have a right to an attorney.
This lawyer has...
You don't have a right to a specific attorney.
This lawyer has made sexual advances on me. He's misrepresenting my case. He told me if I wanted him to do a good job, I had to let him give me oral sex. He's had doctors at Central State Hospital put a false diagnosis on me.
Okay, I know Mr. Wyatt pretty well, and I don't think he has the ability to make doctors at Central State do anything.
Well, they did it, and he's the one that had me sit down there.
Well, they may have done it, but I don't think that he had anything to do with it.
All right, well, he won't give me the discovery. There's things in discovery he's supposed to give me the incident and told me that it was the discovery.
Okay.
They're alternating documents that I've read.
If you want the indictment,
verbatim.
I'll make sure you get a copy of the indictment.
No, I'm saying I got the indictment, but he's not complying with discovery.
Okay.
I'm supposed to get the autopsy report, the coroner report,
It's
pictures
so
of
good.
the crime scene.
Coroner report?
Criminal background records.
Is this a murder?
In the county jail.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm supposed to get the criminal background records, investigational summaries.
Wyatt,
just the judge's split second of shock that this is a murder case. A coroner.
what discovery do you have?
I've given him everything I have.
You've given him everything you have?
Yes, sir.
He's given you everything.
This is a murder case, and
This
is a murder case, and you're telling me the only thing on discovery is a 4-page indictment?
I don't think he's saying that. I think he's saying he's given you everything he has.
He ain't giving me no autopsy report. He ain't giving me no coroner's report. He ain't giving me...
Well, it may be that he doesn't have that. I don't know.
That's what I've been trying to get. He didn't give me pictures of the crime scene. I've seen other people go to trial on murder charges. I've seen what you're supposed to get. I'm not going to work with this attorney.
Well,
It's not gonna happen. I'm not going to trial with this attorney.
Well, you've got two choices. One, you can go to trial with them, or two, you can try the case yourself. Now, I definitely completely think
And I've got a right to have...
Wait a minute. Listen to me. That would be the biggest mistake you've ever made in your life.
So basically, you're sitting here telling me
Now,
you're gonna find me guilty if I go to trial and try to defend myself?
You're probably right. That would be my guess if you try to defend yourself. You don't know anything about selecting a jury, do you?
No.
Do you know anything about cross-examining witnesses?
No.
Do you know anything about criminal procedure?
I know I don't have to let
Do you know anything?
this guy suck my
Let me
to get
let
some
me,
legal representation.
You know something? I'll be honest, Mr. Allen. I really don't believe that.
Well, I'm not concerned if you believe it or not. I'm supposed to have a right to an attorney, and I'm not gonna work with this attorney.
Well, that's up to you.
So I hold myself in contempt if you try to pull me up here to court with that attorney.
That's fine. I mean, that's up to you.
I
told you what your choices are. You can go to trial.
I'm just telling you.
Listen to me.
I'll hold myself into contempt.
Listen to me.
you.
Listen to me.
Go yourself. I'm through here. Y'all done?
I'm finding you in contempt of court.
I don't care.
I know you don't, and I sentence you to 20 days for that. And if you say anything else, I'm gonna add 20 days for everything you say.
You.
40 days.
You again.
60.
Go yourself.
A year.
Your mama.
10 years.
Suck my.
You know something? This is gonna be an interesting trial.
Oh yeah?
Oh yeah.
You're not supposed to smile in court. You know that if you smile,
I can smile anytime I want.
it's a violation. Now you're cussing and yelling
I
at me.
have not cussed.
Yeah, you did.
I am yelling.
Well, go yourself. Suck my.
That's why I'm yelling.
Suck my.
You know something? You are absolutely the rudest person I think I've ever met.
You reckon if I let you suck my that I could get a fair trial here?
Oh, I don't think so.
I got a big now, and if I pull it out,
I don't think that's gonna get you a fair trial unless you have
I'm done.
every one of the jurors do it.
I don't think that mouth is big enough, sir. I've got a big old donkey.
You know, I'm sure mine's not.
I've got a big old donkey for that ass.
Good. I'm sure the women love it.
I don't girls.
Oh no. I'm sorry.
I boys.
Oh, I'm sorry. You prefer men.
I boys.
You prefer men, right?
I white boys.
You white or black?
God.
White boys.
Oh, butt boys?
With big butts.
Oh, of course. You know, you look like a queer.
Well, okay, so now you're calling me a queer in the courtroom?
I didn't call you one. I said you looked like one.
You're yelling.
Do you understand the English language?
Wait, you're yelling, you're laughing.
Do you understand the English language?
This is kangaroo court, sir.
You know what? No, we're not in Australia.
I mean, if you want to suck my you can do it any time now. We can get this court
you're
ordered.
so smart.
Do we have to court order this?
You're so funny. You're
Not
so
in
cute.
Can we get a court
Australia?
order to get my sucked, sir?
You're so cute. I know all the inmates just love you to death.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I bet.
All the white butt boys love me to death, too.
Okay, well, I'll bet they do, and I bet all the rest of them do too.
You ain't supposed to smile in court.
I'll bet everybody enjoys sucking your.
You
Oh
ain't
my
supposed to be
God.
smiling in court. That's a violation.
I can smile anytime my dadgum want to.
Now you're yelling at me again.
I am. I'm yelling.
You're getting mad.
Can you hear me?
You're shaking.
I am yelling at you.
Well, reckon you can suck my.
Yelling.
Can you take a break?
Yelling.
Can you take a break?
I'm yelling at you.
Can you take a break?
Yelling.
Can I get my sucked?
Can you hear me? Yelling.
Can I get my sucked?
Yelling. Yelling.
Are you ready to suck now? You got it all out?
You know something?
You will, but you want me to you in the butt then, right?
Oh my goodness. You've got plenty of that over in jail.
I could see it in you when I came in the courtroom.
Okay, that's fine. You're gonna be here on. Let me tell you how this is gonna work. You're gonna
You
be.
ain't gonna tell me shit.
Listen.
Suck my.
Shut up. Listen to me.
Suck my. You man.
Listen.
Suck my.
You will be here in the court on
I'll
Monday.
be here sucking my.
You will listen to me
Go
now.
yourself.
Okay, I'm going to tell you how this is gonna work. You either listen or not. I don't care.
I'm through. Can I leave the courtroom?
No.
No, you've got to stay here.
No, I'm not talking to the bastard.
We are going to have the trial Monday week.
No, the we are. I ain't going to trial with this lawyer present.
Listen, if you do not.
Suck my. You stinking ass cracker.
If you act like this, I will send you out of the courtroom.
Old bitch ass cracker.
Leave you out of the courtroom during the trial.
Horse ass cracker.
Do you understand
Horse
that?
ass sucking ass.
Do you understand
big
that?
butt,
Do you understand
man
that?
ass cracker.
Do you understand that?
Getting mad, ain't you?
Stupid.
Red face.
Listen.
Now you're calling me stupid.
Listen. Yes, I am.
This is kangaroo court.
You know what? You have a constitutional right to be a dumbass.
Why don't you jump up on the stand
You have a
and jump
constitutional
around
right
like
to be
a
a dumbass.
kangaroo, you dumb bastard?
Well, if you-
Suck my I ain't listening to nothing you say.
Come in here Monday
And
weekend.
how about this? I'll kill your whole family. And when I get in this trial, I'll murder your whole family. I'll cut your children up into pieces. I'll knock their brains out with a hammer and feed them to you.
Are you taking this down?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'm gonna refer you to the district attorney's office.
I don't give a who you're referring to.
I'm just telling
I
you.
thought you were referring to my mother man.
Aggravated assault, terroristic threats, and we'll just add to it.
I will murder you, your whole family, your kids. I am not supposed to be in jail. I was framed. That motherfucker asked me to eat his ass for a bag of coffee.
Well,
and
you
now
know-
you're telling me that I got to go to trial with this man over here.
You're obviously-
He's probably a pedophile.
You're obviously fixated on butts and.
Huh? I'm fixated on your mouth.
No, you're fixated on butts and.
You got a nasty mouth, sir.
I have an awful mouth.
You have a big old fat mouth.
I do.
You gotta have a big old mouth to get this in
I
it.
sure do.
All right.
Yep, I'm proud of it.
I'll make sure the next time I come to court, I'll
I-
pull it out and jack on you.
Okay, why don't you do that right now?
I jack on white boys.
Well, why don't you do that right now?
Just like I jack on females.
Do it right now.
I can't do it now.
Do it now.
I ain't got.
I
butt.
don't care.
Take off the cuffs.
How many hands do you have to do it?
Take off the cuffs.
Come on. No. Jack off.
This is kangaroo court.
Come on, jack off.
This is kangaroo court.
Jack off right now.
Are y'all getting this?
Yeah, they're getting it.
I'm gonna make sure this guy done called me stupid. This motherfucker done told me he was gonna suck my.
I did not say
This
that.
is
He wanted me to
all
f him in the
real.
butt.
I did not say that either.
You're a real real nasty ass judge.
I am indeed, and you're going to find out how nasty I really am.
You'll find out how nasty I am when I murder your whole family, bitch.
Okay, that's fine. You know, you'll be in jail so long you won't have a chance.
The babies will be going, Daddy, Daddy, help me. I'm just going to knock their brains out with the hammer.
Okay, well, you know, if I had any kids, you'd probably be able to do that. But since I don't have any, it doesn't really matter.
Well, then I'll get your nieces, your nephews, your
It
sisters.
doesn't really matter. I don't have any of those either.
Grandkids.
I don't have any of those either.
Aunties, aunts.
How can I have grandkids if I don't have any kids?
Brothers, sisters.
Stupid. You know, you're just completely have no idea of the English language.
If you're not gonna suck my sir, I don't want to be here.
Okay, I've enjoyed this. I hope you have. I know everybody else in the courtroom has enjoyed it, but you can go now. And if,
all right, well,
if on Monday week this happens again, you will not stay in the courtroom.
Suck my sir.
Okay.
I'm subpoenaing y'all's ass in the courtroom.
Oh, incredible. Incredible. That was all a real court case. You can look it up. Okay? You can literally look it up. State of Georgia versus Denver Fenton Allen. Holy fuck. For those of you asking, how was he not immediately arrested? He's already been arrested. That was in the courtroom to the judge. That was not a bit. That was an actual thing that happened. A man actually murdered someone, decided he was going to act as his own attorney, and spent 10 minutes telling a judge that he was going to kill his family and fuck him in the ass with his giant donkey dick. Oh, God. He killed his cellmate. Oh my God. Absolutely incredible stuff.
Amazing. 10 cents, no notes.
Exended, thank you for the $10 super chat. I very much appreciate that. God. Let's see here. Here is oh God. I just really enjoyed that a lot. Like just some of the back and forths in this transgender executive order case are to me kind of on par with that. Like, I don't know, for example, this part. Judge Reyes, if we had President Trump here right now and I said to him, is this a transgender ban? What do you think he would say? I have no idea, Your Honor, said DOJ attorney Jason Lynch. Reyes responded, I do. He would say, of course it is, because he calls it a transgender ban, because all the language in it is indicative. It's honestly just a constant slapdown of the Department of Justice throughout this. For example, another interaction here. If you were in a foxhole, you wouldn't care about these individuals' gender ideology, right? You would just be happy that someone with experience and that bravery and that honorable service to the country was sitting right next to you, right? Reyes asked. Don't want to testify as a witness, Your Honor, or offer my personal views of hypothetical. Lynch responded before conceding, if I were in a foxhole, I doubt that the gender identity would be a primary concern. Reyes also pushed the lawyer for the Department of Justice to admit that the transgender soldiers made the country safer. Are they honorable, truthful, and disciplined? Reyes asked. As far as I know, among them, they have over 60 years of military service. That's correct, Lynch said. And you would agree that together the plaintiffs have made America safer? Reyes asked. I would agree, yes, Lynch said. Do you know how cooked the Department of Justice has to be dog-walked to the point where they're admitting that their entire case hinges on the president just calling a group of people on the basis of their gender identity liars and dishonorable and untrustworthy and embarrassments to their country? And like this judge dog-walked the lawyer representing that idea to the point where he had to concede that transgender people, transgender folks in the service make this country safer, that they act with honor and integrity and bravery and discipline. Shredded him alive in court. And made him sit down, calling him dishonorable, a liar. And lacking in the discipline required to stand up and argue before her courtroom. Wonderful actions by this judge. Now, my understanding here is that this court case is not yet settled, but the case has, I believe, issued a TRO. Oh no, she is hearing arguments to issue that TRO, and she seems very inclined to grant it. So that's great. That is U.S. District Judge Anna Reyes. Wonderful stuff. Also, that same Department of Justice lawyer went on to admit that he would pick one of the plaintiffs in the circumstance that he was in a foxhole. He would pick one of the plaintiffs in that circumstance over someone with less experience. Do you have any idea how utterly destroyed the state's argument is when the judge is able to walk them like that? That's incredible, dog. So, yeah. We're eating good. We're getting those big old transgender W's. And I'm feeling a bit better on this issue today. Just a bit. But you know what? I'll take what I can get.